Welcome everyone to the first episode of Hackathon Series. Today we're diving into one of the most exciting events in the tech world, hackathons. To help us understand what is hackathon and why they are so important, I'm joined by a special guest, Előd Varga. Előd is the CEO of Ape Consulting, a serial blockchain entrepreneur and an angel investor. He got a wealth of experience in blockchain technology, and today we'll be discussing not only hackathons in general, but also how the upcoming PadTON Hackathon is shaping up to be one of the biggest events of the year for blockchain developers. Welcome, Előd.
Hi. Thanks for having me, and it's a pleasure to be a judge in PadTON's upcoming hackathon. I love hackathons, so it's a pleasure for me to be here.
Yeah. So let's start from the basics. Előd, for those who are unfamiliar, what exactly is a hackathon?
Yeah, hackathon is just like probably like the best event to get ideas going in the tech world. It's usually regardless of place, a 24, 48, 72-hour event in which developers and maybe business people that have ideas that can be fixed by some IT solutions are coming together and just ideating on some prototypes. Usually people don't get to actual implementations because the time frame is so short to get the idea rolling that they just get to prototype, and then basically there's usually a panel judge that is ranking these solutions. And I've seen so many good ideas coming and like just getting bird from hackathons that it's just like insanely good. I love to keep tabs on hackathons, and I was in my end participating in quite a lot back when I was doing my bachelor's in Cluj-Napoca in Romania.
That's really cool. It sounds like an innovation sprint, right? So could you give some examples of a famous hackathon that you have been to before?
Yeah, so once I attended like an Eat Meetup hackathon. It was cool, but it was shorter. So like the time frame to prototype was 16 hours. And it was just an online prequel for that, because after that, for the main event itself, the other two developers of the team couldn't make it. But probably that would have been like the biggest one. In person, I attended like yeah most of the hackathons that were in the town where I did my bachelor's. I mean, the main target audience for hackathons are usually students, so it's normal like that, right? Unfortunately, I didn't win prizes, but I got some cool recognition on that.
Oh, so yeah, that's the second part of the hackathon meaning for startup and young entrepreneurs, right? So it's clear that hackathons are exciting and really fast-paced, but why should us tech startups and developers get into a hackathon, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think in my opinion is just the best way to actually hone your skills with real world experiences. And also it's a very good will testament, because if you're like a developer or a business person that wants to kind of like check the boxes and see if you're like really having the expertise and the willingness to get into product, meaning that launching and managing a product yourself, what's a better way of trying that than trying to do that in a very limited amount of time? It's really cool, because it's such a leap for your brain to actually start from zero and end up to somewhere that's presentable to a panel of judges in 48 hours without sleep, without doing anything that's actually like keeping it up to the mind. It's just like your own willingness and your interest in that topic that is fueling you. It's really good. And also when it comes to connections, Ape Consulting, my co-founder, I met at a hackathon. So
Oh,
um networking is definitely I think the biggest win when it comes to you attending to them. But I guess we can talk about that later.
That's amazing. But there is a lot of niche in your story about hackathon and events for young entrepreneurs to attend to. And do you think you can recall any specific real life success stories in that came out of hackathon beside your relationship with your co-founder?
Yeah, so we were attending just earlier this year, we were attending the Start Summit in St. Gallen near Zurich in Switzerland, and I was with the Evor team because I'm part of Evor Europe. They are like an entrepreneur and angel network. And one of our founders at Evor was like a panelist judge at the hackathon, and actually the winner, I'm not entirely sure if the winner or the runner-up was an idea that was using network and local Wi-Fi routers from the Zurich area to actually actively monitor speed bumps and trail bumps. Therefore, they actually created a prototype of a system that was later on and right now is used by Google Maps to actually optimize tracking and route calculations in the city. I think that's probably like the highest and the coolest achievement that I ever heard about the hackathon. Obviously, there were like bigger companies that started off as like just a hackathon idea. Probably most of them coming out of Silicon Valley, but I would like to keep uh, like these examples that I'm saying here to the ones that I attended and I actually saw in person, because they just have like such a bigger impact and I have more original ideas to say about them. I think like that's the highest achievement that I've seen personally. I mean, how cool is that? Like you're used by Google Maps now, and all of it came out of a 48-hour idea.
Yeah. So the shifting gears is really big from a startup to a unicorn um, business, right? With the size that they increase in such a short time and the recognitions in the market. So we can go a bit in detail into the PadTON Hackathon. And I'll tell the audience a little bit more about the event. So the PadTON Hackathon is one of the biggest blockchain hackathons happening this year. I think in the size of reward in comparisons, I think. And it's hosted by PadTON and leading the launchpad protocol in the TON network. Yeah, there's a trending baselines going on right now, especially after the Telegram scandal. And PadTON allows users to invest in blockchain projects, including token launches, IDOs, and INOs. And the hackathon is designed to bring together the top developers and innovators in the blockchain space. So what do you think will make this hackathon stand out compared to all other hackathons that you have mentioned earlier?
Yeah, so I think hackathons in the blockchain space in general have a pretty big traction just because the open sourceness of the underlying technology itself is really providing like a huge boost. You have basically everything at your fingertips and you can just touch them and take them, and there are like quite a lot of original ideas already existent. So it's much easier for people to actually find some Lego blocks, and then really just use them and tailor them to some ideas that they have. This is why I kind of like believe that hackathoning on blockchain, for example, on like ETH hackathons, it's so much easier and so much cooler because you already have so much open source tools to work at your fingertips that you can really just focus on your own idea and not really about like how can I create everything and SDKs and all the tech things that I need to actually make this thing work in 72 hours. Now about the PadTON hackathon itself, I think that the prize pool itself is pretty impressive. It's at around $300,000 in total, if I know correctly. But beyond this prize money, why I agreed to be a judge itself is that the PadTON team told me in person that they are trying to offer much, much more than this when it comes to developing and really like honing those projects that coming out of this hackathon with mentorship sessions, any sort of in-person tech requirements and questions being asked, and so much more support later on to actually get these projects running, not only just to like make them kind of like coming out of a hackathon. Like usually what I say is that you need to target those hackathons that are organized by people that are going to help your project run after that, because what's good in just creating something that you're never going to actually run and manage after that.
Yeah, so it sounds like a huge opportunity that for everyone who is joining the hackathon event. And it's not only about winning the prize, but also about like getting in a long-term support for your project as well. Like as you mentioned, you have the mentorship, you have a market maker from Influx, and then you have also like indirect way to contact with all the sponsor and the partnerships of PadTON in marketing term and development term. So do you think that in the specific values that PadTON brings to the blockchain developers and the tech startup, you would it be any different from other blockchain in the market right now?
Yeah, I mean, like right now, it's pretty well timed because of all the craze that's happening on the open network. I mean, you saw at Token 2049 also, like all the open network events were fully booked and everybody was just like living the buzz itself. So I mean, this hackathon cannot come at a better timing. But besides that, you also need to understand, I'm saying to the audience, that PadTON itself is a launchpad, which means that their own business structure is going to rely on the projects that are going to come out of this hackathon and the ecosystem that is going to be basically built atop of it. The community is pretty large, right? It's empowering developers to create these next generation blockchain applications. And then, of course, the TON network itself is going to ensure that you're going to have users. I mean, 900 million users. It's not going to be that big of a deal to on-ramp people. It's a struggle for other chains, trust me. But you're going to be in a unique situation in which this is not going to be your biggest problem. And then, of course, the ecosystem of the mini apps, like right now, is just booming. So you're going to see quite a lot of cross-marketing proposals coming in from other projects. And of course, PadTON is definitely going to help you do the necessary introductions to kick off your business. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome thing. I'm really looking forward to get some cool admissions because it's like the potential is tremendous.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the community aspect is huge these days, especially when blockchain and crypto shifted the environment and the behavior in the last few years after a bull and bear market constantly. And I think that's fantastic that you are joining us as a judge for PadTON Hackathon, and it's incredible opportunity for any blockchain developer or tech startup to not only showcase their skills but also grow their projects in the right support and resources. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, well, absolutely. Like I thank you guys for inviting me in, and I would like to encourage everybody to join the hackathon, form teams, reach out to other interested people that want to join the hackathon if you're not having a team. This is a unique opportunity to get your co-founders, to get your business partners, to get your network of developers maybe, or just like-minded people, because the PadTON Hackathon is definitely going to be a place in which you can even earn some massive cash prizes if you're just like out there and trying it. So why would you do it for free if you can do it for money? So that's a pretty good motivator. And I would like to salute and thank the PadTON team for organizing it. I'm really hopeful that I'm going to see some juicy admissions.
Yeah, for everyone who's watching, don't miss out on the PadTON Hackathon, and it's your chance to grow and collaborate and maybe even launch your big projects for the blockchain world. And thank you for joining us today.
Yeah. See you guys at the hackathon. Cheers.